On Now in International News, Burkina Faso's president, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, stood before the world, dressed as a symbol of friendship and declared, "We are not against the world, we are for our people and we welcome any nation that respects us as equals." Economic projections are compelling. Burkina Faso is set to create over 5,000 new jobs in the tech sector by 2030 and achieve an estimated 15% increase in rice production through satellite-guided irrigation. Burkina Faso just made history. President Ibrahim Traoré has broken ground on what's being called Africa's longest irrigation canal, a bold move that's turning heads across the continent. This isn't just about water, it's about rewriting the future of agriculture, food security, and independence for millions. The dry plains are about to become green lifelines, and at the center of it all is one fearless leader refusing to let the Sahel stay barren. What does this mean for Africa's future? Stick around because this story is much bigger than you think. If this bold vision for Africa's future fires you up, hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon to join the movement. Don't miss a single update on game changers like Traoré's canal. It takes one click to stay in the loop. Let's build this revolution together. The bulldozers have rolled in, and Africa will never be the same. A dust cloud rose like a signal fire, bulldozers, survey drones, and thousands of workers lined up along the arid stretch between Burkina Faso and the Sahel. Ibrahim Traoré, once mocked by Western analysts as too young and too revolutionary, stood with a hard hat and a vision. The continent watched as the first ground was broken on what will become Africa's longest irrigation canal, a project so massive it makes the Suez Canal look like a garden trench. This isn't just about water, this is about independence. This is about rewriting the script for African agriculture. Traoré's blueprint spans over 1,200 kilometers, cutting across Burkina Faso, linking to tributaries in Mali and Niger, and even tapping the southern banks of the Niger River. The ambition is terrifying in the best way possible. He's not waiting for foreign aid. He's not taking IMF loans. He's using mineral revenues, cryptocurrency reserves, and bilateral trade agreements with non-Western allies to fund the canal outright. "The West built railroads to extract our gold," he said during the groundbreaking ceremony. "We will build canals to feed our children." What you're seeing now isn't just construction, it's a rebirth. Farms that have been dry for decades will bloom again. Villages that prayed for rain will have a constant flow. And more importantly, a message has been sent: Africa is done begging. With this canal, Traoré isn't just watering crops, he's watering a revolution that's been thirsty for centuries. More than a canal, it's a lifeline for the Sahel. You can't understand the scale of this project until you stand next to it. Trenches as wide as highways, pumping stations the size of stadiums. But what makes this project revolutionary isn't just its engineering, it's its purpose. The Sahel, once vibrant, has suffered from years of desertification, climate neglect, and broken promises. Entire communities abandoned their lands because there simply wasn't enough water to survive. Traoré looked at this disaster and saw an opportunity. His canal won't just carry water, it'll carry hope. Plans show the canal will supply over 40 million people with access to sustainable irrigation and clean water, not just for drinking, but to revive rice fields, cotton plantations, and mango groves. Smallholder farmers who once dug wells with their bare hands are now forming cooperatives, backed by government grants and guaranteed access to the canal. It's genius. Traoré isn't just feeding people, he's creating an economy from the soil up. While Western media tries to frame him as a populist firebrand, the truth is he's working smarter than anyone in the room. His engineers are a mix of Burkinabe youth and African expatriates who returned from Europe to build their future at home. Traoré isn't forcing them, he's inspiring them. And here's what makes it wild: the canal cuts through regions once torn by conflict. Now, warlords are laying down arms to become contractors. That's right. Traoré is turning battlefields into breadbaskets, not with speeches, but with water, willpower, and action. Economic projections are staggering. Burkina Faso is set to create over 5,000 new jobs in the tech sector by 2030 and an estimated 15% increase in rice production through satellite-guided irrigation. This is one of the best systems out there. If all African economies could adopt this model, we'd be set. This project alone is expected to attract over $200 million in investment. The West didn't see it coming, and now they're nervous. Let's be real, the usual global powers are not happy about this. But because Traoré didn't ask them for help. He didn't knock on the doors of the IMF. He didn't invite the EU to set terms. Instead, he tapped into BRICS partnerships, secured infrastructure aid from Turkey and the UAE, and got technical input from South Korean hydrologists. That's a nightmare scenario for neo-colonial players. Here's the twist. Traoré made it clear this project isn't anti-West, it's pro-Africa. But the West can't stand it when Africa acts like it doesn't need babysitting. Now they're scrambling. Think tanks are suddenly publishing reports questioning the environmental sustainability of the project. News outlets are painting the canal as a geopolitical gamble. Yet, on the ground, none of that noise matters. Families are digging channels with their own hands. Local schools are creating irrigation curriculum modules. Women's groups are managing cooperative water tanks. This canal isn't just a pipe, it's a movement. Traoré's genius is how he handles the criticism. He doesn't argue. He doesn't defend. He just builds. While European leaders debate carbon footprints, Traoré is planting forests along the canal banks. While lobbyists whine about trade disruptions, he's launching solar farms to power the water flow. In a world where politics is mostly performance, Traoré is performance through production. He's outworking everyone, and the West, for all its think tanks and policy briefs, suddenly finds itself watching a 36-year-old revolutionary irrigate an empire of self-reliance. Here's what most people don't realize. Traoré didn't just order a canal, he designed a system. This isn't a one-off vanity project. It's an integrated, continent-aware masterstroke. The canal incorporates satellite-monitored flow gauges, AI-based irrigation timing systems, and drone surveillance to spot leaks or sabotage attempts. But it's not just high-tech, it's high-trust. Villagers are being trained to manage their own sections, using traditional water-sharing customs blended with modern efficiency models. That's the Traoré formula. Blend indigenous knowledge with global innovation. He's got Fulani herders advising engineers on how to divert cattle routes without disrupting nomadic patterns. Mossi elders are consulted before land is touched, ensuring ancestral lands are respected. You know what that does? It eliminates resistance. It invites unity. This project doesn't just bring water, it brings purpose. And while other nations fight over water rights, Traoré is signing water-sharing agreements in advance with Mali, Niger, and even Chad. He's making this canal a continental pact, not just a national project. It's diplomacy through infrastructure. Even the funding model is innovative. Instead of centralizing profits, Traoré structured it so each region gets equity in their portion of the canal. That means locals aren't just users, they're stakeholders. That's how you prevent corruption. That's how you create legacy. This isn't just some trench in the dirt. This is Africa's bloodstream, designed to pump opportunity to every corner it touches. And it's all happening because one man refused to do things the old way. Stay with me till the end, because I'll reveal the one factor that could determine whether this bold vision succeeds or fails, and how the African diaspora might play a crucial role. Let's pivot to another project addressing a familiar problem across Africa: Air Burkina's revival. When 80% of West African air traffic is handled by non-African airlines, the economic costs are enormous. That's why Traoré's government has invested $450 million to revive Air Burkina with fleet upgrades and airport modernization. The economics are striking. African aviation is projected to grow 9% annually over the next 2 decades. Airport construction alone has created nearly 5,000 direct and indirect jobs, boosting trade and accessibility, planting the seeds for tomorrow. Now, let's fast forward 5 years. The canal is complete. The dry lands of northern Burkina Faso are now emerald green. Children who once walked miles for water now splash in backyard fountains. Crops that hadn't grown in 20 years now feed entire provinces. That's not a dream, it's a projection from Traoré's own Ministry of Agriculture. But more than the harvest, it's the ripple effect that matters. With the canal up and running, food exports increase, lowering Africa's dependency on imported grain. Traoré plans to build agro-processing zones along the canal, creating jobs and local value chains. Farmers become exporters. Villagers become entrepreneurs. And those youths who once risked their lives migrating north? They're staying. They're building. They're thriving. That's what water does. It roots people in place. It turns chaos into community. Schools are rising. Clinics are opening. Life expectancy is climbing. And it's all connected to this single audacious act of irrigation. This canal is more than infrastructure. It's a philosophy, a declaration that Africa doesn't need handouts, it needs leadership. And Traoré, for all his bold moves and military roots, has become something no one expected. A builder, a unifier, a man who understands you don't have to conquer the world to change it. You just have to water your corner of it until it grows. And now, all of Africa is watching, inspired, and asking the most important question of all. If he can do it, why can't we? From dust to destiny, Traoré's irrigation canal isn't just a construction project. It's a revolution in the making. As the waters begin to flow, so too does a new era for Africa, one of self-reliance, innovation, and unstoppable hope. While the world watches in silence, Burkina Faso rises with thunder. And this canal? It's just the beginning. If you believe in bold visions, in leaders who fight for the land and its people, then this is your moment to tune in. Like, share, and let the world know Africa is reclaiming its power. Loudspeaker disclaimer. The content shared on this YouTube channel is entirely fictional and created for educational and entertainment purposes only. The stories about the life of Ibrahim Traoré are imaginative works of fiction and do not represent real events, news reports, or verified facts. These videos are not connected to any official source or news outlet, and viewers should not interpret them as factual representations. Thank you for watching and supporting creative storytelling.